Are you looking for some healthier coffee options and alternatives to your daily cup of coffee? Then you've come to the right place. I'm Holly, a certified personal trainer and holistic nutritionist, and in this video I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite healthier coffees and coffee alternatives. Because as delicious as this cup of coffee is, there are actually several brands that make it much healthier and more beneficial for you and your body. So let's get started with some coffee talk. I'm going to share with you what these brands are, my personal review on them, what I think about them, and then a few tips for what I think makes them a little bit more tasty, a little bit more enjoyable, like your normal cup of coffee. And so these are not just coffees or coffee alternatives, but these are healthier coffee alternatives for you to live a healthier lifestyle. One, for Sigmatic, which is probably one of the most popular brands of mushroom coffee. We have MudWtr. This is not a coffee. This is more of a cacao with also mushrooms in it. So no coffee, super low caffeine. Ryze. This is a ketogenic coffee, also full of mushrooms. This is XGanoderma coffee. So what's similar about all these things? So all these coffees or coffee alternatives are instant coffee or instant mixes. You just mix them with water or milk. There's no grinding, there's no brewing. It's just pour into a glass and go. Because of that, the taste may not be quite the same as your normal, again, cup of Starbucks or something like that. And then also, they all have additional ingredients in them, namely mushrooms, things that are actually going to improve your health while you're drinking these coffees or alternatives. Whereas your normal cup of coffee is really just going to give you a caffeine high, a little bit of antioxidants, and that's pretty much it. Side note, when I say mushrooms, I don't mean like magic mushrooms. There's nothing special about the mushrooms in these coffees in that way. They're not special kind of mushrooms. They just have health boosting, health promoting benefits to them. So nothing weird or sketchy when I'm talking mushrooms. So let's start with 4 Sigmatic mushroom coffee. So these come in little packets, although you can also get a ground bagged variety on their website, but these are ones you'll find at like Sprouts and Whole Foods. And these each kind of have a specific focus. So you're gonna find a coffee that, like this one, has cordyceps and chaga in it. And you see the little running man up there. So that's basically indicating that this is for energy and endurance. So these are great for like before a run, before a workout. So you'll find packets like this. There's other ones that are focused on brain health, on all types of different things. So when you buy a box or a packet of 4 Sigmatic, you're kind of getting a specific focus or intention with that coffee. Taste-wise, to me, these are pretty good. They kind of taste like your basic instant coffee with a little bit of that kind of earthy, mushroomy flavor. So there's just a subtle hint of that kind of earthiness in it from the mushrooms. But for the most part, it's just a black coffee. There's no sweetener. There's nothing in it. So it tastes just like your pretty normal instant coffee. So it's good, not great. Again, this is not like a nicely brewed coffee from your local coffee shop you're gonna get, but the health benefits are much better. These packets have about 50 milligrams of caffeine in them, whereas your normal cup of coffee is gonna have at least 100, if not close to 200, depending on the blend and the brew. So big benefit is you're getting health benefits from the mushrooms, you're getting lower caffeine, and it's really kind of nice and travel friendly. So these are perfect. I've taken these when I've gone to travel in different places, when I don't know if I'm gonna have coffee or how bad the hotel room coffee is gonna be. These are awesome for that. Okay, so the next closest thing to the 4 Sigmatic coffee is gonna be something like this. Now there are a bunch of different varieties of Ganoderma coffee, which is another mushroom. So this one, very similar. It comes in a little packet, just like this. It's an instant coffee. It looks just like, Folgers or Starbucks that you would get at the store. Again, this is full of a bunch of different mushrooms. So this one has got cordyceps, Ganoderma, maitake mushroom, shiitake mushroom, chaga. So this has got a few more mushrooms than you will find in like a 4 Sigmatic, which again is usually geared toward a specific goal. So this has got a variety of health benefits to it. This one to me is very similar to Sigmatic. Again, it tastes like an instant coffee. It's not amazing, but it does the job. I mean, it tastes pretty good for an instant coffee. It's got the health benefits, it's got lower caffeine. So this is another good option that's a little bit more affordable than the Sigmatic. Okay, so this one is Ryze Mushroom Enhanced Keto Coffee. So what makes this keto coffee exactly? So here's the ingredients. You can see them on the back. You've got MCT oil, and then a bunch of mushroom listed again. So this one has cordyceps, lion's mane, reishi, shiitake, king trumpet, and turkey tail. So I know a lot of weird names. Just to kind of explain those, cordyceps, and like I said earlier with chaga, those are kind of geared towards strength, endurance, exercise. These are great things to take before you work out. Reishi is great for immunity and stress relief. So that's a great one that you'll find in a lot of coffees and healthy drinks is reishi. And then lion's mane is going to give you focus, which again can be good for either a workout or just starting your day in the office. I really like to use this both before workouts and when I'm kind of getting my day started with work. I have definitely noticed, especially on an empty stomach, that I will really get that sense of focus and clarity. And then it also, of course, gives you a boost of energy, not only from caffeine, but from the mushrooms as a pre-workout. So I like this if I'm going to, say, swim or bike or run, or a short weight training workout where I maybe don't want my stomach to be super full, but I just want a few calories and a little boost of energy. This is great for that. And then turkey tail is good for gut health, is good for digestion, and king trumpet is good for immunity and has antioxidants in it. So tons of health promoting benefits in this. You kind of get it all with like the focus, the energy, the immunity is kind of all in here. The difference with this one is that it has MCT oil in it. And so it's a little bit more of like a slightly creamier consistency. And it does have calories. It's 30 calories per serving, which is about a tablespoon. So you can mix it with water or milk. But it does have that little bit of oil and healthy fat in it for you. The MCT oil is an antimicrobial and it helps with brain function and energy. So that's just kind of another healthy source of energy. Great for when you're trying to focus more on fat burning than using carbohydrates as your energy source. Then the coffee alternative is MudWtr. So MudWtr has no coffee in it. So if you have stomach issues, if you have issues with higher caffeine, this is definitely a great option for you. Here's a list of ingredients. So it's got cacao. Again, it's got a bunch of the same mushrooms. We've got lion's mane, cordyceps, chaga, reishi. So all those great healthy mushrooms. And then you also have cinnamon, which is great for health. It's great for controlling insulin levels. You've got turmeric, which is basically like a super spice. I mean, it's cancer fighting, it's anti-inflammatory, all kinds of great things. And then just a little bit of salt in there for flavor. This is a very strong cocoa kind of taste. And it definitely has that flavor of mushroom, as does the Ryze, which I didn't mention before. The Ryze definitely has that taste of mushroom to it. And then this one has that as well, but it tastes a lot more like cocoa, but there's no sweetener in it. So it's not like you're gonna drink it and expect it to taste like your hot cocoa. But you can easily add honey or agave or maple syrup or something like that, or something like stevia to sweeten it up a little bit if you like sweetener. I also didn't mention before, but all of these coffees have no sweetener in that. The MudWtr is, to me, it was a little bit of an acquired taste. I had to figure out just the right proportions of like liquid and the powder. Again, this one is a powder just like the other ones. It just comes like that. You use a little scoop and just dump it into your cup. So this one, to me, it doesn't taste like coffee. Okay, so you're not gonna get that real, coffee feeling and flavor from it, but it is a really good, I think, substitute for just wanting something warm and comforting, like when you want your kind of coffee ritual routine. This can be really good for that. I've really enjoyed using it in the afternoon when maybe I kind of feel like having coffee, but I don't want any caffeine or anything like that. So the MudWtr has about 1/7 of the amount of a normal cup of coffee, which I think breaks down to approximately 17 milligrams of caffeine. So that is definitely a great one if you have issues with coffee or if you have issues with caffeine. That's going to be a lot better for you. And again, it's full of all these great health boosting nutrients in it. So now that we've gone over the coffees, just a couple of tips on how I like to drink these coffees, how I think they can taste a little bit better. So far I haven't done a lot of experimenting with either the Four Sigmatic or this. These have been kind of my travel type coffees, or if I need to take something like to a workplace and there's just no coffee machine around. I've mostly just put these in with water, stirred them, and been done. But I would definitely, if you like kind of a creamier consistency, then maybe try mixing them with like a coconut milk or almond milk or oat milk, something like that. Another thing that I've been enjoying is, this is also from MudWtr. Ooh, you can't really see it, but this is a coconut milk creamer. So it's coconut milk and MCT oil. So this is a great healthier creamer option. So that's a great one to put into these really black coffees to give it a little bit more creamy consistency, a little bit of flavor, kind of round it out so it's not quite as bitter. So this, same thing, it's just a powder, just like the other one. You just dump it in there, stir it in. So that's a great way to kind of soften up, I would say, the taste of those other coffees. Depending on how you like your coffee. I like strong coffee, so I mix this with maybe like 4 ounces of water, 4 or 5, not a ton of water. To me, it tastes very watered down and gross if I have it with like 8 ounces or something. So, but if you like kind of that more light type of coffee, then it would probably work well to do about 7 or 8 ounces. With the Ryze coffee, to me, I don't think you really need to add a whole lot because it already does have the MCT oil in there. However, I do kind of like doing about a half water, half milk mixture. So I will do maybe like 4 ounces of water and then another 2 to 3 ounces of like coconut or almond milk. Oat milk would also probably taste really good. That just kind of gives it a little bit more richness, creaminess, and kind of cuts down a little on that kind of earthy mushroom taste. And then with MudWtr, this one for me took quite a bit of experimenting to actually like it. I was about to stop using it entirely, but then I realized you just gotta kind of find the right water to powder and milk ratios. So this one I do a full scoop to about 8 ounces of liquid, maybe 9 ounces. If you do too little water, to me, it's just thick. It is very much like its name. It's like mud. It's quite like bitter and earthy from all the cacao. So this one I think tastes the best with mostly milk and maybe a little bit of water or all milk. And then it does taste good depending on your preference with like a little bit of honey or a little bit of stevia. I like adding just a little bit of coffee in there. So what I like to do sometimes actually is take a little bit of one of these packets, like a dusting, you know, maybe like 1/4 of the packet at most, and put that in. That kind of helps counterbalance the intensity of the cocoa kind of taste. Now this one comes with a whisk, an electric whisk. So that helps to get it really well mixed up, and I've been using that for the Ryze coffee as well. So rather than have to stir ferociously, it comes with a whisk when you buy it. So stirs it up really quickly, makes it kind of nice and frothy and smooth. So those are my preferences on mushroom coffees and coffee alternatives. There are plenty more out there, so if you have suggestions or things you like, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. I will also put some links in the description box to the MudWtr and to Ryze and to Four Sigmatic. I'll also leave a coupon code for Ryze. You can get 15% off your bag, and I will put that code down in the description as well. So I hope this is helpful and gives you some good ideas of some new coffees to try. Please try them out and leave comments below. Let me know what you think. I think these taste great, but I've talked to some other people who don't love the taste, so I'd love to hear your thoughts and maybe ways you found to spruce them up and make, you know, lattes and all types of different ingredients, because I know people get pretty creative with these. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to learn more about fitness, health, nutrition, please visit my website at renewalfitcoach.com. Also, please like this video and subscribe and share it with anyone else who may be interested in some coffee alternatives. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.